Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about the upcoming welterweight bout. It's going to put together Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley, UFC 307. This fight's going to be in the prelims, if I'm not mistaken. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. First and foremost, I would like to start off this video by giving thanks and respect to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson for still being in the game, fighting at the highest level. His last opponent was an undefeated Shavkat Rahmanov, 18-0, I believe. Takes nothing away the loss to Shavkat. The fight before that, I believe, was a win for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So, in all honesty, despite the age, he has not looked as bad as most guys over 35 look. Generally speaking, especially late 30s. I don't think that the stats in the favor of guys over 35, if I'm not mistaken. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, it has been a up and down past a few years or so, but he has had wins. It's not like he's going on 6 or 7 losses in a row like a Tony Ferguson is, despite Stephen Wonderboy Thompson being older than a Tony Ferguson. If I'm not mistaken, Wonderboy is close to 40. I could be pretty close, around 40. And the guy that he's facing, UFC 307, is an undefeated fighter in the welterweight division. I believe Buckley, if I'm not mistaken, Buckley used to fight in middleweight division, but ever since he dropped down in weight, he has not lost. It's all wins, and all of his wins were pretty spectacular, in all honesty, especially his last win. I know he had 2 performances back-to-back earlier this year, and he fights a 3rd time or 4th time this year. I don't know. I'm aware of 2 fights for Buckley this year. Going to make a 3rd, UFC 307 against Wonderboy Thompson. I believe this is the first time that Buckley faces a top rank or a top fighter, let's just say, in the form of Wonderboy Thompson, even though that's not going to be truly the top of that division, obviously. But Buckley has huge potential, the 30-year-old, of challenging for that welterweight title. I mean, you got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Maybe you throw him a Gilbert Burns after this. Him versus Gilbert Burns would be a fascinating fight to watch. But Joaquin Buckley has a very unique style, in and out darting movements with fantastic boxing skills. He is a tremendous athlete, like I said, and he's not short on opinions. I mean, the guy's super opinionated, and he'll make sure that you'll hear his opinion. And if you don't hear his opinion, he'll make sure that you hear it, if that makes any sense. He's had a lot of back and forth with, seems to be everyone, Buckley. And in all honesty, if you want to get noticed, perhaps that is the game plan, that is the strategy. A book straight out of a page straight out of Chael Sonnen's book, or a Kobe Covington. All of these guys were provoking responses in one way or another, and at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to get yourself noticed in what they call the quote-unquote attention economy this day and age. So at times, the guy's trash-talking abilities can have the ability to sell more pay-per-views than the better fighter can. Not saying that Buckley any short on skills. The guy has skills plus the trash-talking abilities. So this guy truly has potential of becoming champion of that welterweight division at some point in the future. In all honesty, I would not be surprised if Buckley challenges for the title, let's say 2 fights after Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I'm not dismissing Thompson as a stepping stone here, but it's going to be a very difficult fight for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, just especially taking into consideration Buckley's explosiveness in fighting terms, and his darting in and out movement. I do understand that Wonderboy has a similar style of his own, that wide stance karate-like style, but in all honesty, Buckley's just a fresher, younger, I believe. Stephen Wonderboy is 10 years at least, Buckley Sr. So there is the age difference, I believe there's difference in power. I want to say there is a difference in technique as well. Hand solely, I believe Buckley has the better boxing skills. His leg movement, darting in and out, is going to create huge problems for Wonderboy. I do understand Wonderboy has that wide stance, relies a lot on the kicks. Maybe he can catch Buckley going out or darting in and out. But if Buckley gets in the pocket and the exchanges start to happen, then I can't help but to imagine that Buckley would end up on top every single time. Strictly boxing exchanges. Will Wonderboy implement some takedowns? I don't know. Possibly. I'm pretty sure Wonderboy will have some sort of game plan going in against a Buckley. I mean, the guy, last time around I saw Buckley inside of the octagon, he was just simply too much for his previous opponent to deal with. I'm not sure if the same thing's going to be repeated against a Wonderboy Thompson. Thompson could surprise me personally and find a finish somehow or win a decision. A decision is going to be very difficult to pull off because you would have to be a full step ahead of Buckley the entire time, which I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. If Wonderboy was to win this, he has to be super witty, and he has to capitalize on his openings when they do present themselves, and he has to prevent himself from getting touched by Buckley, because I believe if Joaquin was to get in the pocket, start some exchanges with Wonderboy, Joaquin's going to end up on top. The one with the superior movement, 10 years younger than Wonderboy, and has all the momentum, hype, and confidence in the world. Now, Joaquin has had a few words to say about Stephen Wonderboy recently. I'm not going to go into that, but I think things like that just kind of make a fight a bit more interesting. I believe guys look for quote-unquote beef when there isn't none sometimes, and it's very difficult to be mad at a guy like Wonderboy, in all honesty. He's just the guy is so nice, but it seems like Joaquin seems to think otherwise. Obviously he knows him on a closer level than a person like myself, so maybe he knows something I don't, but personally I have nothing bad to say about either guy. I just cannot wait for this fight. I can't believe it's on the prelims, in all honesty. Just goes to show you how awesome that UFC 307 card is. The card is going to be headlined by our light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira versus challenger Khalil Rountree. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more.